Austin, Texas Country, Coke FM. It's same old star, McBride and the Ride. You may know that waltz. I play it all the time on the dance hall Friday nights. And hey, look who's on the phone. It's Terry McBride. How you doing?
Hey, Scott. I remember that song too.
It's a great one, and you know, there's not as many waltzes out there as all the other songs, and of course, so if there's a good waltz, man, I used to play the crap out of that song, and I still do on the the dance hall show, and of course here on my Texas Night show. But you're going to go on in about 45 minutes. You're playing. You start at 8:00 tonight, so you're going to be doing the Coke FM virtual concert series round 3. You're going to be on our Coke FM Facebook, and this is going to be one of the best because you are not just a musician, but you're a storyteller. And I was talking to Rita Ballou this morning via text. They were doing the morning show. I told them that I'd touch base with you yesterday, and you were traveling, so we set this up for today. And she goes, "Look, Scotty, don't fanboy on him because I know how much you like McBride and the Ride, and how when I was in the bars and DJing, I would play it all the time." And she goes, "Just don't fanboy like you did Restless Heart," because I really kind of embarrassed myself with Restless Heart one night. But so,
that's funny. I'm a huge fan of those guys too. That was one of the first tours.
I love
those guys are fantastic.
And we talked about this briefly yesterday, but I love the smooth '90s country music that the Restless Hearts, the Brooks and Dunn, Steve Wariner. We were just talking about some of that, and you guys, you did it, and a lot of folks don't realize what you've been doing since then. And Rita, actually, they were talking about you on the morning show this morning because you're doing tonight, but that you went on the road with Brooks and Dunn, and you're in Nashville. Right. You're still just as much in the music business as you ever were. You're just doing different stuff, and so it's great. It's great to have you tonight, and I'm curious about the stories you're going to tell. What are we going to talk about tonight?
I'm curious too, Scott. I have no dang idea what's going to pop out of my mouth or into my head.
Yeah.
But who knew the gift of gab would pay off for me all these years later? But I've been in this business for I started early. My dad was a musician, so I was exposed to a lot. I've seen a lot, and occasionally that provides you with a decent story to tell or share if you can.
That's great.
That's kind of it. So, some of the songs actually have a cool behind the scenes events that shaped the tune and the way it actually came together. Not every song is like that, but occasionally there is a tune or two where people find it interesting, and so that's good for me. I just a lot of people don't understand or know what all happens behind the scenes or how a song actually came to be. But like I said, occasionally I've been a part of a couple things that's been really cool and love sharing that, and probably do some of that tonight, of course. And have no idea. I asked for some requests, and so I've received a lot of requests. So some of the songs I don't even remember, but I am trying to.
Well, just for me, I want to hear "Just One Night," "Going Out of My Mind," "Hurry Sundown." Same old stuff.
Okay, I can check off almost all of those for you. That's good. That's going to help. Those I do know. That's going to help me a lot.
Now, and then after McBride and the Ride, of course, you spent a lot of time with Brooks and Dunn on the road playing bass. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't know that either until Rita and Eric were filling me in. And that just, you were writing songs for them, and you're like, well, they said, hey, come on, you might as well play bass too because we need a bass player. And having you in the band, I mean, that's like a super group. It should have been McBride and Brooks and Dunn.
Well, I wish you'd been my agent at the time. We could have worked that out. But,
I'm fanboying now. Sorry.
Well, I had been out there for a long time, for about 10 years, and then they made a change, and the band called me and asked me if I would be interested. I played one night with them, with a bass player. His father had passed, unfortunately, and he didn't make it back. His plane got grounded, so they just grabbed me. I was out riding my bike or something that day, and they went, "You've got to get in here." And so it was a little shocking, and I'd always played bass, but I hadn't in many years, about 10 years, and the bass player played a 5-string bass. I'd never played one of those, so I had him take the big string on the bottom off.
Wow.
I didn't want to get lost on some song.
Well, that's
I
a big difference
know.
If you're not in the music. I mean, I play drums, and I know that we had a bass player in my band that was playing the 4-string, and we got a new bass player that had a 5-string, and I had no idea what a big change it is. So if you're walking in with Brooks and Dunn, it's not like you're playing at the local bar. You're playing with Brooks and Dunn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a huge crowd, of course you can imagine, and even with all that being said, of course, I knew some of those songs were huge hits. I knew kind of how they went.
Right.
And fortunately, I'd written a few too, so I knew how those went. But at the end of the night, we joked it really went well, you know. And then years later, they asked me to be in the band. And I think I remember Ronnie saying, you know, you're out here eating our catering anyway. Why don't you come and let us put you to work? You know?
That is one of the tightest bands out there. Is the Brooks and Dunn
It was
band?
great.
And I've seen them many times, and I think when they were out with Reba, and they had the two different bands, and they've been the top of the stage would slide over, and here, voila, there's another band here. But then the whole Vegas thing, cool. Those guys are incredibly tight, and so that's really cool. And so since then, what you been? I mean, you're in Nashville, but what have y'all been doing?
Well, I'm still writing, still fortunate to still getting a couple cuts and working on a couple things here today, trying to make it all come together. Writing with several new young artists, that's kind of been exciting and interesting. I've got these younger artists that sort of dug what I did years ago, you know, it kind of lets me get my foot back in the door, and that's been fun. And I've just finished up a new album with a great friend and uber, you know, hot songwriter guy. I've known him for 20 years, and now he's become the hot guy in town. Luke Laird is his name. He's had 20 number one songs. He was just a kid when I met him.
Right.
But he just produced a record on me, and he won a Grammy last year with Casey Musgraves, Space Cowboy. But just wrapped that up. We just finalized a little record deal on that. Going to have that coming out in the fall, hopefully. And cool little record. I've got a really cool song, a duet with Patty Loveless that I'm really excited about. A song I wrote with Chris Stapleton. It's the title of the album called Rebels and Angels. And got my old pal Delbert McClinton's on the album, and kind of made it fun. I recorded one of my dad's songs from back in the 70s, and so it was a fun project. I'm looking forward to sharing it. You know?
And it makes my heart grow 3 sizes to hear all the people I'm talking to that, you know, great 90s musicians and 90s, 2000s, and all that music's coming back. The kids love it, and because I'll be 50 this year, but they're starting to like the music we liked again. And you got the people out there like the Luke Combs and Eric Church. All these guys are putting back out the
John
smooth
Party,
stuff.
all
John
those
Party.
Guys. Oh yeah.
And it's almost like the genre didn't go away. It's just kind of reemerging now, because I love hearing it. I love the danceable stuff like that you used to do with McBride and the Ride. But now, I mean, it is coming back, and so I mean that makes me really happy.
Well, it makes me feel good. You know, as a songwriter, there was a period there where I really didn't fit with what was happening, and so it was kind of shocking and frustrating. But it was the way it was. It was a change in the times, and the landscape and the music scene was just going through changes. You know, it does all the times. Every decade or so, it just goes through whatever. But now we've come out the other side of that with all these young kids that are sort of longing for more of a something that resembles, you know, that traditional sort of sound. It's very cool, you know, with the modern whatever twist they want to put on it. It's just fun that there are some options now. For a while, it just became the same thing. It was a little tough, you know. A few guys were writing that. I just wasn't one of them, so found other things to do, fortunately. But now it's cool. These young kids, you know, Texas, that scene has been great for me. I've made so many friends, and several of those guys have recorded my songs, or I've written songs with them, and that's been a whole lot of fun because I love Texas and love keeping a foot in that scene as well, you know, personally, and my music as well. I love that. So that's been a big thrill. But yeah, it's all kind of coming to a good point for me all these years later. I guess if you hang in there long enough, you know, something can happen.
Well, it's like, you know, bell bottoms will eventually be back in style too. Everything is cyclical, and it's like we got this. Yeah, we hung around long enough, and now we're cool again.
Okay, I'll take it.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking some time with me. And look, when all this stuff's over, and you actually told me before the interview on the air here that you're coming in October to our good friend Jamie, their club, the Cotton Club in Granger. And I don't know if that's public knowledge yet, but I'm excited about that. I'll be there. And
I think it is now.
Yeah, it is now. But look, I mean, we're looking forward to seeing you here, and then always keep us, keep in touch and let us know, because I know that you turned Rita and Eric into huge fans just talking to them, and now me, and again, Rita said,
"Oh man,
don't fanboy on them," but I can't help it. It's Terry McBride.
Oh man, listen, I appreciate that. You're too kind, and I was looking forward to this. enjoyed visiting with you a little bit off air. And
Yeah.
of course, the station, everybody there has been so good, and love those guys down there. Rita and Eric have been so cool to me, and I look forward to coming back. If I head down, I think I'm coming through there maybe in August. We'll see how everything plays out. I'm supposed to be playing down in New Braunfels and
Cool.
a couple of the days Houston, but I love coming in early and stopping by the station. So hopefully I'll see you as well this time or the next time when I come through.
Yes, sir. And keep us posted. And then you're going to kick off here on the stream on the Coke FM Facebook page in about, 39 minutes or so. And so also, if you don't get to catch Terry McBride tonight live, it'll be backed up at cokefm.com and on the Coke FM Facebook. But it'll be fun. You'll tell some stories. You'll play some music. And it's like the old VH1 Behind the Music. We're going to find out some details tonight that we never knew before.
More than you may even want to know. So tune in.
Well, thank you, Terry, and we'll talk soon, and we'll see you here in less than an hour, and you got Austin, Texas Country, Coke FM. Keep it here for the 80s at 8, the 90s at 9. I wonder what I'm going to play tonight, and some new music at 10 o'clock. It's Coke FM right here in Austin.